Call of Duty has been a part of gaming for what feels like basically forever or almost our entire lives, and over the years it's definitely given us some unforgettable moments and also gave us a few games that just either wasn't well received by the players or just was kind of just straight dog shit. But to be fair, a lot of new releases for other games are either just not well received by the players or it really is just straight dog shit. Like I said before, COD as a franchise has been around for a really long time, and it's definitely has some good ones and bad ones, but no matter what, it's still been able to keep itself alive. It's definitely had some low player counts, but it's never like fully tanked and just straight up died and discontinued. Which is honestly a big flex for a company, considering that there's been quite a few companies that have been around for a long time and kind of just had to discontinue because their games were like really bad. Volition being one of those companies. Volition is the same company that was responsible for all of the Saints Row games and the godforsaken Agents of Mayhem. Volition has been around for a whopping 30 years, from 1993 to 2023, with the 2022 Saints Row reboot being its last game. Honestly, if you look back at it, it was really bound to happen. The whole reason why they discontinued was because they invested like $2 billion or $2 million into a game that did not sell well at all. But bridging from that and going to the main point of this video, I'm going to be playing what's considered 3 of the worst CODs, excluding Vanguard, just because I don't feel like I need to really make a video on Vanguard. I mean, we all know how Vanguard did and how it is. I'm gonna end this whole monologue, or well, yap session pretty much right here. I'm really hoping that this video reaches its target audience and is actually able to get out there and maybe hopefully gets more views than a lot of my other videos. Don't feel like you have to like the video, but I would genuinely appreciate it if you did. And shit, hell, maybe if you really want to, and if you're really feeling like you really want to do it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I don't drop a whole lot, but you know, when I do, I put a lot of effort into these videos, and honestly, I think they come out pretty good. But anyways, enough said, let's get into the video. Our first COD that we have up is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I decided to hop in a zombies match because I wanted to see how long it would take for me to get a lobby. It didn't take as long as I assumed it would, and I was honestly pretty prepared and ready for whatever had to come, but the player count thing was kind of tweaking a little bit, so I was kind of confused and worried that I wasn't be able to connect into a game. Eventually the countdown had started while I was looking at my guns, seeing what attachments I can put on them and how much I could deck them out. Then it got to the final second, I got pretty much kind of thrown into the game.
Like, where the hell are we?
I think we're somehow inside the film. Zombies.
I was actually pretty glad that I got a lobby with people who haven't unlocked director mode yet, so that way we could actually have a challenge when we play the game instead of everything being bot, because that shit's kind of just boring. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love being able to access everything right before the shit hits the fan, but to be honest, it kind of takes out the immersiveness or immersive feeling, I guess. As all of us are doing what we're doing and, you know, building up boards and whatnot, they start lagging and moving in place, and I kind of just stare at them because I was confused, and then eventually I ended up just getting kicked. What the fuck? So like any other person, I just started up a solo match and played by myself. The first couple things I did was turn on the power, kill some zombies so I could have some money, acquired my first perk Up and Atom, which if you haven't guessed already is basically just quick revive in this version of zombies. After buying past the barricades, I made my way to go retrieve Neo's head and then put it on him and then kinda just like beat the shit out of him. Then I tried doing one of his dumbass challenges, which was trying to kill 5 zombies while jumping, and it was honestly a lot harder than I thought it was, because I didn't know if every time you had to kill one you had to jump, or if you had to jump while killing them. It was really confusing. At least I got a souvenir coin, but it didn't fucking matter because I ended up going down when the clown round happened.
That wasn't me, that was you.
But thankfully I had quick revive and I was able to come back alive, and like an absolute fucking G, I was Michael Jordan that bitch in the arcade so I could bring myself back to life. Then after that, I got the wondrous time of being able to fight these fuck-ass clowns again. And right when I was running low, my guardian angel appeared right in front of me. Right after I quickly grabbed that, I patiently waited for the next round by indulging myself in some very interesting art. I was so indulged with what was blessing my eyes at the moment that I didn't even pay attention to the fact that the round had started. Obviously, because of that mistake, I tried to kill everything that was around me, but couldn't really do so, and I tried to make some sorry ass escape through the doors, and it obviously didn't work. After that sorry ass excuse for an escape, I hopped on multiplayer to see if I could play a quick TDM. So I waited and waited. I was sitting there with my dick in my hand until I finally got a game and prepared for, well, whatever was coming towards me. I thought we were pretty lucky because they were a little outnumbered, but god damn it, I was very fucking wrong. Yeah, that's basically all this part was just me spawning and then dying and spawning and then dying and then spawning and then dying continuously. I was able to get one kill, but surprisingly right after I just get popped. In conclusion, this game honestly isn't really that bad. I mean, sure, the multiplayer is very different, I guess, and a lot of people who still play are really sweaty. But every time I hop on this game, I always have a lot of fun playing the zombies. Even if I'm playing the same map over and over again, it's still a lot of fun. I feel like I've already given my thoughts on the game, but just to make sure, I'd say that the multiplayer is mid, the campaign, I don't have an opinion for it, and the zombies is really good. And I know I'm low-key glazing the zombies quite a bit, but to be honest, it really is that good. The graphics are good, the visuals are good, the whole theme of like being able to go inside of a movie, and that all the other DLCs are a different movie set in a different time. It's honestly pretty intriguing for me. Plus, it's also a little different from what we usually get. Our second most hated COD is Call of Duty World War II. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little biased towards this COD because it genuinely is one of my favorite CODs ever. Sure, the guns aren't very accurate and a lot of them are kind of broken as hell, but it's genuinely really fucking fun, and it's actually been able to manage a really good player base. Another thing too, I'm honestly pretty good at this COD. I'm not that good with a lot of older CODs, but this one I'm honestly pretty decent at. And unlike Infinite Warfare, here's a montage of me whooping ass instead of getting my ass handed to me. After getting tired of that, I decided to hop on zombies, which I'm also pretty decent at and also have a lot of fun in. I like to do this thing at the beginning of the round on the final Reich, where I kind of just sit there and kill as many zombies as I can up until I think around round 6 or 7, and then I continue to try to do the Easter egg. Here's quite a bit of gameplay of me doing that. I honestly don't really know what to say here because there is like a decent amount of gameplay here, and like I said, it's really just me sitting in the same spot killing enough zombies until I make it to round 7 so I can continue to the next area. I heavily recommend doing that because it's a very enclosed space and there's not a whole lot of places the zombies can go other than, well, where you're at. And also too, it's definitely good to start off with a shotgun because then you could just shoot their ass immediately and kill them right away, or like with a sniper. And then, like I said, the second you hit round 7, you're definitely going to want to get your ass out of there because it does obviously eventually get intense. There's been times where I've kind of just seen how long I can last in there, and it doesn't take very long because eventually you do run out of ammo and whatever the fuck you're using, and a shitload of zombies come through. I think the longest I've been able to sit in that little spot for it was like, I think maybe 10 or 11 rounds. By the way, if audio sounds a lot better right now, it's because I barely realized that my mic was not plugged into my phone this entire time of me talking. So if this sounds a lot better, that's the reason why. But anyways, going back into the gameplay, for this Easter egg, I think you have to turn on all 3 of the powers, turn on the thing that's like in the middle of like right before or like kind of like in front of the bunker door. Then after you turn that on, you gotta turn on a power thing down there. Then after you turn that on, you gotta go back up and then you gotta come back into where I think the bunker door is, and then you open that. Then you go turn on 2 other powers. Then you have to there's so much fucking shit you have to do. I think I might do a video where you have to go more into depth about this, or I'll just probably do it step by step, because I've always wanted to do a tutorial video on literally anything. But to be honest, this is one of the easiest Easter eggs to figure out. Like, I think the only things it really points you out or tells you to do is turn on the power and then turn on the thing in the middle. Up until this point, as you can see already, I survived up until wave 11, and I was honestly doing really good. So I decided to run it back and see if I was able to do all of it over again. And of course, I was doing pretty good and, you know, doing what I'm doing, I guess. And then died on like the easiest part of the entire fucking Easter egg. After that, I said to hell with it and decided to buy the Torture Path DLC, because I've been honestly wanting it for like the longest time ever, and I kind of wanted to see what it was. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I thought it was kind of like a campaign zombies type of thing, or just like a weird external mode. External. I meant to say external. Which honestly, I guess you can argue it basically fucking is, because it's one of those like survival modes where you kind of just survive up to a certain round, and then as the rounds progress, it gets harder and harder. Honestly, I had a lot of fun on this mode, and I honestly might go back and play it, because I want to see what happens when you get to the very end. I only made it halfway, as you can see, on round 5. And I did play an online game, and I got, I think, up to like round 8 and then died because, well, like I said, it gets very fucking intense. Like I said, I'm obviously going to be pretty biased towards this game because I really fucking love this game. But I'm going to say, you know, that the campaign is really good. I definitely recommend playing it. It's really fucking touching, and it's like, you know, watching a goddamn movie. The multiplayer is really fun and definitely 10 times better than Vanguard. Hell, I think you might find the game faster in here than you will in Vanguard. So, yeah, in conclusion for that, multiplayer is really fucking phenomenal. The zombies is also really fucking good, and I definitely recommend playing it at night with some friends, because like randomly jump scares will happen, and also too, the Easter egg is like really fucking easy. And I know I'm glazing the zombies like the last one, but the Easter egg is, if not the most easiest fucking Easter egg that I've ever done and almost completed. Yeah, almost completed. I haven't finished it yet. The steps are like really simple, and if you watch a video real quick, I think you could understand and learn it within like fucking a minute or two. And if you're like me, you're not good at Easter eggs at all, this is definitely like one thing you can view as an achievement. Last but not least, we have Call of Duty Ghosts. This might be the oldest COD on our list, and honestly, I don't want to say the worst, but it's definitely not the best. My first match in, I immediately get the worst fucking map ever, of course. And this kind of proves everyone's complaints about this game was how big the fucking maps were. Because this map, if you look at the gameplay right here, I was dying like continuously, which, well, I mean, of course I was doing it on the other ones, but every time I either got close to getting a kill or getting a kill in general, I would just get killed by somebody who was like fucking either all the way across the map or just some place I didn't know at all. But after playing a few matches, I wasn't doing too bad. I was still able to get like a decent amount of kills, you know, little montage right here. Also too, I apologize if I sound really lazy when it comes to like talking about this, but to be honest, I've been trying to edit this for like the past 3 weeks, and it has been absolute hell. But after those like main multiplayer maps, I decided to play squads, and to be honest, I had a lot more fun in this one. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the fact that, you know, you can have your own NPC characters and that not all your teammates are like fucking stupid. Sure, the NPCs aren't the smartest fucking people ever, but I mean, it's something. Also too, I could definitely see myself coming back to this game specifically just for this, just because I really do find the mode interesting. Even too, just playing with bots, like even like not even loading into a public match and just like playing with bots, I think is still fun because you could progress and I think still level up and do all that while, you know, playing against bots. Extinction, I don't really have any words for. I mean, it's alright, it's definitely different for sure, but to be honest, it's just the same repetitive process over and over again on like 50% of the maps. It's literally just going to this one like egg thing and then putting a drill in there and then sitting there for like ever trying to defend it. And by the time you think that you've kind of defended it enough, the fucking thing says that you failed. I don't think I've ever actually been able to complete one of the objectives before. But But a little plus side to that, like I said, it's brand new. It's like a thing that we've never gone before. It's different from the original zombies type thing. Also, too, fun little fact, Extinction is a DLC for one of Infinite Warfare's zombie DLCs, which I think is actually kind of cool. Another thing I do kind of like is that it is a little more guided, and for like new players who are new to Call of Duty or just new to like external modes like zombies, it's a lot more guided and kind of shows you what to do and how to do it. One thing I don't think I like at all is the fact that your pistol kind of just stays with you and you can't really change it and have two like rifles or something, or a rifle and a shotgun, because for some reason I guess that's just something that you can't do in the world of Call of Duty Ghost. Also too, I don't know if I'm stupid, but I don't understand how the entire like idea of the first part of these gameplays is that you have to go to these eggs and destroy them, and you defend them for long enough, eventually the egg gets destroyed, but it still says that you failed it. Also too, these fucking aliens do so much goddamn damage. So I mean, at this point it kind of sounds like I'm bitching, honestly, but bro, this shit is really bad. And it's like, honestly bro, I just want to be able to do this and then, you know, see where the story is and how it takes me, because, you know, at the very beginning of this there's like a little cutscene that always plays and it looks very interesting, but then once you actually get into it, it kind of just sucks ass. In conclusion, all three of these games have their flaws like any other game does, and maybe a little more than the others, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy playing them and getting the footage for this. And sure, like I said, they do have their flaws, like let's say for instance, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm pretty sure at this point people were tired of the whole futuristic shit and were kind of just like, wow, another one, are you serious? And that's when they had like really finally wanted a boots on the ground COD. But when we did get a boots on the ground COD, people didn't like that either, because they said that the guns were very unrealistic and weren't accurate at all. But like I said before, they definitely have their pros and their cons. Their two pros being, as I've obviously stated multiple times, is their zombies. And I know I've already said this like more than probably 10 times, but I really love how the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare DLCs are formatted, and how, like, you know, how every single one is like a different like movie and whatever. And also too, I love the fact that Call of Duty World War II Zombies is like really a thriller, and how like fucking actually scary it is. When I had first got it when I was a little ass kid, the first thing I played was the zombies, and I think for like a good 2 weeks I stopped playing it because of how like scared shitless I was. When it comes to Call of Duty Ghost, however, I don't have too many words for it, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy playing it. But I also wouldn't be capping my ass off if I say that I didn't enjoy it at the same time. I know that sounds really stupid and confusing, but I'm gonna try to like dumb it down or explain it in the best way that I can. I'm not gonna lie, when I played the campaign for the first time, I was a little confused, but you know, that's like everybody at the first time when they play their first campaign. A couple things I do love about the campaign is the character that you play as, and just all the other characters around you that are like very interesting and definitely will, you know, have a lot of character into them. I think the entire concept of having to save the world because your own people are kind of fucking it up is low-key pretty interesting, because that's kind of what we're doing to ourselves now. I like how the other modes other than campaign and the multiplayer are like pretty different. Like I said before, squads, I definitely can see myself coming back to it and playing it like for like hours on end because of how like weird and interesting it is. And if I'm low-key being honest, I feel like squads would probably be a lot more interesting today, and I think it'd be cool to be able to play as characters from other Call of Duties and kind of just go against other people using those characters. For example, you could buy Soap, Captain Price, Zakayev, Rourke, just like all of the other like bad guys and good guys from like Modern Warfare and from Call of Duty Ghosts itself. But when it comes to Extinction, personally, I don't really like it. I don't really know why. I think it's just the fact that it's like repetitive as hell, but then I'd also feel like that'd be a little like hypocritical of me, because that's kind of like almost every zombies in every COD. I don't know, maybe it's just not my cup of tea, but I know that for other people out there really do like that, and I can honestly see kind of why, because, you know, as I said before, it's different and it's something brand new to the table that we haven't really seen before, which is good, because, you know, a lot of times people want to see a lot of new things in COD, and sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad, but it's still like, you know, pretty cool to see something brand new in like a COD. I don't know if I really said that correctly, but I mean, you get the point. In conclusion, I could see why a lot of people say that these are definitely some of the worst CODs ever. Me personally, I don't think that they're the worst CODs ever at all. But, I mean, as I said before, they definitely have their pros and their cons. This is pretty much the end of the video, and you know, to my very few subscribers and friends, if you guys like me doing more content like this, or you know, just kind of enjoy it a little bit, or surprisingly, if you're new and you just want to see more stuff like this, let me know. I honestly might do a lot more things like this, and I had a lot of fun recording this and voicing over a lot of this and just like talking about it. Also too, I apologize if it sounds like I'm getting lazy in a lot of the clips, but to be honest, you know, with what's been going on recently and you know, just what's happening around us, it's been hard to like kind of focus on like this and just like content in general. But I mean, you know, we can't always like just focus on that specifically, and I know things are like really tough right now with all this bullshit that's going on, and you know, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about that, but you know, if you know, you know. But you know, it's hard not to, but you know, don't focus on any of that right now, and you know, just you know, pray and hope that like things get better, or just you know, just don't focus on that at all. One thing that's definitely been helping me during this time is, you know, just writing my thoughts out and just getting it off my chest, because you know, sometimes you're not going to be able to talk to people who you want to talk to, and you know, you just want to get your feelings out. But with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really love making videos like this and continuing to do content, and you know, like I said, I don't drop a whole lot, but I put a lot of efforts into these videos, and you know, I would appreciate it if you were to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. I know that sounded corny, but it's whatever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.